Y'all, it's the season to be thankful. And sometimes you have to dig deep, and I mean deep, to find things to be thankful for. But this year, I'm thankful for Honey Love bras because there's nothing worse than suffering through a Thanksgiving dinner with an uncomfortable bra, or really just in your everyday life. Sometimes I watch our reality shows and I want to send some of our gals a Honey Love bra. You know, I'm looking at you directly, Zaria. But y'all know Honey Love's bras feature that supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're super soft. I mean, you don't want to take it off. It's a around the house bra. It's a sleeping bra. They're just so comfortable. You guys, my mom is 83 and she just recently told me she ordered a Honey Love bra. And I can't wait to hear how much she loves it. She's going to love it. And she used my code, of course. Don't forget about their shapewear. It's holiday party season, you guys. We all have an outfit we need to fit into, look great, whether it's like pants or a dress. Their shapewear uses targeted compression technology, so you no longer feel like you're suffocating or that your life is being squeezed out of you. For me personally, I like their V-neck bra, and I also love the Super Power Short for smoothing out those love handles, under that dress. And so it doesn't roll down when you sit down. Also, that is the worst. You're at a party, you sit down, the thing rolls down, you got to get up, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to fix it, and then you got to readjust your boobs and everything. When you're wearing Honey Love, you don't have any of these problems, okay? Give the gift of comfort this holiday season, whether you're attending a wedding, hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner, or going to a holiday party, or simply seeking that everyday boost of confidence. Honey Love can be your perfect plus one. So get yourself or someone you love the gift of comfort. Plus, for November only, listen to this. Honey Love is giving up to 50% off site-wide. Visit honeylove.com/pink shade and shop their sale. And when you go to checkout, it'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please say, "Pink Shade sent me." Thanks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Thursday. That means it's time for Pop and Bravo. And I would say, one of the foremost Bravo experts of our time. It's Ronnie Karam of Watch What Happens.
Well, hello.
Watch What Crappens. I said it wrong.
I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, Ronnie Karam. He's the producer of Watch What Happens.
Yes. I'm the boss of everything. Hi.
How are you? How you doing?
Good. What's going on with you?
It's good to see your face. It's good to see you in your new space there that you've been working on.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be here. Nice to see you in your new space that you're in, your basement. Jesus. We live in such different worlds. You're just casually like, this is my basement. That looks like a freaking mansion living room to me. Like, that's crazy that you're just casually like, oh, it's just my extra space.
Well,
whatever.
Listen, I got a family of 4. My son just told us that over Christmas time, he's going to bring home like 4 or 5 friends. I was like, okay, where they're going to go. Guess they'll all be down here. Because,
you're going to have a stinky basement.
With a teenage boy. Yeah. Oh my God. You guys talk so much on your podcast. Watch What Crappens, not happens, about the teenage boys and their hair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's still there. Why won't they get rid of it? I mean, how long do fads last now? Aren't fads supposed to be quick? They should be over that mushroom hair bullshit. I can't take it. And there's so many cute boys who are just ruining all of the photos for their future because they're never going to want to show those.
I agree.
They're going to be mortified in about 1 year, and they just walk around with that stupid fucking hair.
I know. I agree. There's this meme going around. If you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you, which is like some sort of animal and it's foraging around in the forest. It's like a sheep or something. And it lifts its head up and it's been digging around in some hay and the hay is all over its head. And it says like every teenage boy, it's like,
yeah,
yes,
pretty much. Pretty much. But they like permit. What's crazy is I've seen one. I know one of them in the wild, one of these teenage boys.
Yes.
They curl their hair and then they comb it forward and then they like flip it up. There's like a whole process. Like it's a really difficult thing. It's not just combing it forward. I mean, they perm it and then they comb it. I mean, it's a lot of dedication to look stupid. Okay?
I agree. And my son does have one friend that fully got his hair permed. And we were like, and then it was like in a mullet, but permed. I was like, that didn't look good when it was in style, and it doesn't look good now.
Yeah, but hey, be bold. You're young, kids, okay?
I know. My son doesn't even brush his hair. He told me that the other day. He goes, I don't even own a brush. I go, well, you do own a brush. What are you talking about? He goes, I don't know. I guess I lost it. I was like,
Yeah, attaboy. You do whatever you want. This is your world now, kid. You
I
take
tell you,
over from here.
he's in college. He's living his best life.
Love it.
Now, okay, Ronnie, we have a lot of shows to cover because right now, would you say this is the best time in Bravo or the worst because we've got so many shows?
We've got a lot. We went through a drought, right? There was a long
Yeah.
time where we didn't have much, and that hurt. That really hurt my feelings. And
Also
now we've
it
got
also
stuff.
hurt your business.
Yeah, but we've got stuff back, but it's like New York. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so I'm trying to be positive with New York because generally, like, I like the people on it. I in favor of a reboot. This is just like there's only so much you can try to root for something. It's they're just they don't. I feel like Bravo's just not listening to the people. Listen to the people.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that. I agree with
But
that.
yes, it's still even that I was cracking up last night watching that stupid episode. And it was probably one of the worst of all time, but I was still, there were parts where I really liked it. I was like, Brent Dress is so cute for, such a cartoon villain. And I mean, there's still stuff I like for sure. But we need kind of a show that's going to take the reins. And I feel like right now nothing's really doing that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like we've got 4 shows. And if you would have asked me last week, I would have said, "Oh, it's Salt Lake. Salt Lake is killing it. It's firing on all. We've got Mary. She's a delight." And then this week I'm like, "Meh, I don't think I would say that this week."
Well, we're so fickle as Bravo fans, 1 minute
True.
it's like, I mean, look at Vanderpump Rules. 1 second we're like, this is the most amazing show ever. And then the next year we were like, this is trash. 2 episodes into the season, the whole fandom was like, fuck this show. This show sucks. They're all over the hill idiots. So it's just, you got to keep it good every time. I think Salt Lake City is good. I think that's the best right now. I think it's so funny and so good, but the audience is not watching it. They're like, bye. They're not. They're not watching it. The ratings aren't that much more than New York, which is crazy
Oh,
because
I
New
didn't
York
know
is really
that.
tanking. Yeah. So it's not looking good. And for someone who loves Bravo and talks about it every day, I get worried. I go through
Yeah.
periods where I'm like, what is happening? What am I going to do now? I can't wait tables again. You all better figure something out. I start feeling desperate. Like I'm going to go down to those offices, like, oh, everybody get in here.
I, you know, Yeah, I agree with all that. I think that, our friend Kate has said many times, like, it's just a matter of time for all the housewives are over. And I'm like, stop saying that. That hurts my feelings.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And it's like that with everything, but it has been 20 years. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're over because they go in cycles and sometimes they're great and sometimes they're like, meh. But I think, I think it'll be fine. But I think right now it's just like, it's enjoyable. I'm just plugging along, enjoying everything. I'm wishing they would just shut up about Jersey and bring it back because I love that. And I can't
Mm.
wait to see Kyle's stupid journey and getting torn down on Beverly Hills next week. I guess it starts.
Yeah, next week. Next week.
Yeah.
You guys, we record this on Wednesdays. So this week, to talk about new episodes, we only have Potomac and New York because it's only Wednesday. So we haven't gotten Salt Lake and OC yet. And but we're blessed with the 4 shows. So even though 2 are new for this episode, we will persevere. So, all right, let's talk about OC. So what we've seen at this point is the first part of the reunion. So we have one couch. We have Katie, Gina, Jen Pedranti. Other couch, Emily, Tamra, Heather.
Evil couch.
Well,
I mean, that is just a rancid couch. That the earth should just open up and swallow that side of the couch. And Heather Dubrow with her villainous ass and those pictures circulating of her that are just stills from the reunion. They're not touched up or anything, but just with her frown and her head's pulled back and her veins are popping out. She's just like killed all the puppies. She's just that horrid Disney villain. And I'm actually glad that she's kind of leaning into that because I think everybody really fell for her. I'm a good person now. I'm a human with a heart. Hear it beat. Bump, 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 bump. And I never bought that shit. So I'm really glad that she's back to just being an emotional terrorist,
do you have thoughts on Terry's nose job?
At some point, it's just like trying to put, biscuits back in the can. I mean, not to sound like me putting on jeans, but at some point, there's just only so much you could do. You put a finger in one hole to plug that leak, and then another hole pops up, and before you know it, Donald Duck is drowning in the boat. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't see any difference in his nose. you know?
I don't either. I don't really look at Terry Dubrow for his for his nose, you know?
No, you shouldn't.
I think
No,
at some point you should just be like, I'm old. I mean, I get like, listen, I'm Botox and I
me
chemical
too.
peel and I do the whole thing and I'm saving up to get my waddle done, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not like being some judgy asshole about surgery. Do it. But I think at some point you just need to be like, look, I'm going to get my waddle. Okay. I want
Mhm.
that gone. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this whole thing. There's only so much you can do. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I currently am suffering with 2 Botox bruises on my face that I've covered heavily with makeup.
Oh, really?
Um,
Would they miss the spot? Those bastards. You should sue them.
no, sometimes but I don't know. I'm like sensitive and old, and sometimes they hit something and it makes a bruise. And I have 2 bruises by my eye and a bruise on my chin. And my husband was like, "What's happening with your face?" And I said, "Oh, I got Botox. I got a bruise." He goes, "I don't want you to change your face. I want to." I go, "The face that you know has been getting Botox for 20 years. Like, what are you talking about?" He all of a sudden like realizes that like he thinks I'm changing my face. I go, "It's literally, I do this every 6 months." He's like,
I'm not
"Oh,
changing my face. Mother Nature is changing my face, you fuck. Okay?
I'm
If you
trying
have
to
any
put it,
complaints, call her.
trying to put it back where it was, trying to put it
Yeah.
back where it was." God. So, God, that's a great segue for OC. Yeah. So,
Oh
I,
yeah, those faces. That's what I mean. It's too much, you guys. Like Tamara only the bottom of her chin moves in this
yeah.
whole thing. She's like a claymation that's broke. It's like going to Chuck E. Cheese and one of the characters is like broken. It's like one twitchy eye and a jaw. Come on, man.
Every time I think of Tamara and I think of you guys, I just think about you guys saying that she was like a raccoon on the top of a dumpster. What was it
Oh,
that
a
you said?
possum on a trash can.
Possum. Mhm.
Yeah, because the first time I ever saw a possum was it was raining and I was a little stoned. I was in my 20s and I went to take out the trash. I had never seen one. And this little hairless thing just started screaming at like screaming at me.
Yeah.
I dropped that trash and ran back in and was like Googling aliens and shit. I was like, what was that thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It took a few times telling people before they were like, that's a possum, you idiot. But it's terrifying. And that came from that moment where Tamara was screaming, "That's my opinion." I was like, okay, well, I remember you. And there's probably still trash all over that floor in Long Beach, you asshole.
Oh my God. I do think, I don't know, sometimes you hear things on podcasts, from your favorite podcast, and it just sticks with you forever, forever. And that is one of these things that every time I see Tamara do a little, like a little squinch down with her eyes, I'm like, oh my God, they're right. They're right.
And she's a beautiful lady. It's just that sometimes it's when she gets angry, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She does get a little rat-like. So let's talk about the Katie, Gina, Jim Pedranti couch. Okay. So first of all, I love Gina. I'm unapologetically here for Gina. I love her. I knew you'd have a thought. Jim Pedranti, yeah, she's nice, super nice, but she's dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah.
To sit there and literally say like your boyfriend's name and FBI investigation and money laundering and bookie and gambling illegal, and you're like, I mean, it's fine though. Everything's fine. You're like, what you just said?
Everybody's boyfriend. I mean, so what? The FBI, everybody's boyfriend has to deal with the FBI. I mean, he was helping the FBI. And they're like, well, but he has immunity. That means he was turning evidence. No, it doesn't. They said, we'll give you immunity if you give us a computer. I mean, that's all it was. Guys, come on. It's like, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But, I mean, good for her. I mean, I think delusion's a little bit healthy. I think the worst thing to ever happen to a relationship is knowing more about your partner. I mean, that's just the worst part. That's the second I'm out of there. You know what I mean? Like when you really get to know somebody, like when you're driving in the car and you finally see their personality when they're like, you motherfucker, like at some random 16-year-old and you're like, whoa, gross. You're like a living, breathing human being with anger. You're done. Bye. Get out of my car.
Yeah. Well, they are going to get married, and she probably like won't get a prenup, and then they'll get divorced in 3 years. And he'll take all her sweet Bravo money.
Well, California, I don't think works like that.
Oh,
California, if you're together for a certain, she'll get something anyway. I mean, unless he makes her sign some kind of a prenup or something.
but
Is that what you're saying? That she will sign a prenup?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying he probably won't want one because he'll try to figure out a way to get her money. Because I feel like
I don't think she has any.
Well, I don't think he does either. That's my whole thing. Is like, How are
This
those?
is America. Do any of us have any money? Here's what we've got:
Okay.
credit and a prayer. Okay. We all fucking know it. America itself is in like 50 zillion, kabillion, $1 trillion in debt. We don't give a shit. We're just waiting for the walls to crumble down. And when they do, we'll have all the shit we bought off Amazon to snuggle with. Okay. You can't take that
Yeah.
away from me.
Yeah. Ronnie and I just had a full 10-minute conversation about Amazon and how I encouraged him to get an Amazon credit card. Because Jeff Bezos, not the greatest guy, but I can't help it. I love his product.
Well, you know what? Look, I'm just saying, like, nobody really has money. It's all a house of cards. So,
Okay.
especially on Housewives. I mean, I don't know. I forgive people for that because these shows, nobody has money. And then when they really do, are they really happy? Like that Bronwyn on Salt Lake City. I don't believe for 2 seconds that lady is happy. She looks miserable as hell. And everyone's like, oh my God, mother icon, which is great. I think she's a great addition, but she just looks so sad at all times. Like she has no fun in her. She's just a sad, sad lady. So I don't think being rich necessarily helps. Is Heather happy? Heather ain't happy.
No,
No.
no, no. You know who is happy? Gina. I think Gina's happy, and she's the poorest of them all.
Gina is happy, yes. Because, she's happy with simple things. She wants a gather sign and she wants, Tupperware with different kinds of lids that she just keeps buying at the fucking home. But when you buy off-brand Tupperware and then you've got all this stuff that doesn't match, I feel like that's Gina's whole house.
Yeah.
That's Gina's life.
And like
just
once a
mismatched
year, you go
Tupperware.
through that cabinet and you go, why did I buy this? This doesn't match. This is giving me
Yeah.
plastic cancer poisoning in the microwave. I got to throw all this away. And
Yeah.
then you start over with glass and then you realize that's taking up a lot of space. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really heavy. Yeah, plastics for the win.
Also, I just want to tell you guys, our friends over at Bravo Docket just put out an episode today about the Travis and Gina situation. And it's all about Travis's divorce. And boy, oh boy, I've only listened to half of it, but
Oh, I will be listening to that. But
his
yeah, love
ex-wife
those
is
girls.
really something.
Yeah, well, he doesn't sound like the biggest prince either, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on. There's always two sides to
I know
every story.
so far he comes across better, but
Well, that's like my Mima said, no woman ever made herself crazy, honey.
well, your Mima's smart.
She was smart.
Smart. What did you feel about the sort of planned takedown of Katie on this
It was
first
gross.
episode?
I thought it was really, really gross. And it's all because someone dared say that Heather called the Paps. When meanwhile, they all said it last year and she didn't do that. She didn't go scorched earth, but it's Katie and Katie said it. Granted, that wasn't a great moment from Katie either.
Yeah.
But just like going to that level and being like, I'm going to bring up something from 10 years ago and try and ruin you as a mother. Like what happened to my children or my children? You can't talk about my children. That's the biggest defense, especially with Tamra. I mean,
Yeah.
Tamra just did it a few weeks ago. We're just like, Vicky, you win, Vicky, talking about my children and me as a mother. But that's okay. This is okay to come drag someone and basically say you lost custody of your children when she was probably in an abusive situation. All this, it's vile. It's disgusting. Those two are disgusting. Heather and Tamra, vile. Emily, those three, vile human beings. Gross.
I didn't enjoy Emily's reunion look. I don't think the hair
Emily's
pulled up
not ever
sharply.
there for a look. Emily is one of the most stereotypical OC, cut out big fake marble chains she was wearing earlier this year. Remember, like her dress, she had two parts of a dress and they were being held together by plastic fake marble chains. I mean, that lady is tacky as hell. And, she's done so much to herself. And after that reunion, I was literally screaming at the TV to the point where I was worried that I was going to get the police called on me. That woman got the face that she deserved after all that. Karma came down and went into that scalpel because she deserves it. She deserves it. What a monster.
Yeah, it's I didn't enjoy any of that. I didn't enjoy that, kind of she did pound on Jen a little bit about like you don't get immunity if but I mean this is not like lawyer information. This is just common sense. Like, we all watch true crime. But the takedown of Katie, I think that yes, it would have been good for Katie to be able to like say, oh yeah, that did happen. And here's my side. There was this road rage guy, blah, blah, blah. But then they're like, the police report said you were in his driveway. She's like, I pulled over. I don't think I was in his driveway. Like I didn't know him. And then the whole, like she got paper served, but she didn't live at the house because she was literally in like a domestic abuse shelter.
Well,
Like,
she didn't say that, but that's kind of what they're hinting, right? She said like an
yeah.
institution or something like that.
Yeah, they didn't say that, but I mean, she has told the story lightly that she was in a domestic abuse situation with her first husband and that one of the kids did choose to stay there. And it's very messy and it's got to be very painful to talk about your kids and losing custody of your kids. I mean, it was bad.
It
It
was
was bad.
bad. It's just so low. And, Katie, I think, was caught in some lies. I mean, that police report
Yeah.
she did follow the guy. But I think what she was saying, and I'm kind of being an apologist here just because I feel like she was the victim in this
In this
gang up
situation.
situation,
Yeah.
right? But, and that, from what I've read, she did follow the guy home. But I think what she was saying was, I'm sorry for that noise. That's horrible. I don't know if they're doing dentistry right now down there or
Right.
what.
No, you'll
But,
hear it from upstairs in my house too. You guys were both living in ramshackle homes where people are drilling. So, yes, it's okay. Did you just
yeah.
yell at them?
Yeah, so it's not going to work.
No, they're going to say that. Yeah.
So embarrassing. What are they doing? Okay, but yeah, she did lie in that situation. But I think what she was saying was, yeah, I mean, I followed him, but I didn't know it was to his house.
Right.
Like I didn't
Mhm.
know him, so how would I know where he lived? But they're saying like you followed him home. But my thing is, why are we making this man such a victim? He's screaming at a woman with children in her car and
Yeah.
videotaping her and doing all this shit. Nobody sounds innocent in that situation.
Right.
And they both sound like they were kind of drama queens. She called the police and
Yeah.
he was trying to make it like she was falsely imprisoning him and all this. They're both kind of drama queens. But the point is, it's none of these ladies' business. And if you bring up anything 5 minutes ago, they're like, how dare you use my past against me or my children? But then they're allowed to do this. It's disgusting. And Heather's whole thing of like, don't dig anything up. Don't take anything. I hope this reunion, we don't stoop to that level. Yet she's got all these receipts that even the Bravo docket was like, we couldn't find these easily. It took major digging to get these. So
Yeah.
whoever got all of this information really made an effort. Heather and your
Yeah.
stupid private eyes, and Emily with your stupid fake, oh, I'm a lawyer, get out of here. And I'm not saying she's not a lawyer, but all that stuff was readable in the US Weekly, and it's none of your goddamn.
Y'all, it's the season to be thankful. And sometimes you have to dig deep, and I mean deep, to find things to be thankful for. But this year, I'm thankful for Honey Love Bras because there's nothing worse than suffering through a Thanksgiving dinner with an uncomfortable bra, or really just in your everyday life. Sometimes I watch our reality shows and I want to send some of our gals a Honey Love bra. I'm looking at you directly, Zaria. But y'all know Honey Love's bras feature that supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're super soft. I mean, you don't want to take it off. It's a around the house bra. It's a sleeping bra. They're just so comfortable. You guys, my mom is 83 and she just recently told me she ordered a Honey Love bra. And I can't wait to hear how much she loves it. She's going to love it. And she used my code, of course. Don't forget about their shapewear. It's holiday party season, you guys. We all have an outfit we need to fit into, look great, whether it's like pants or a dress. Their shapewear uses targeted compression technology, so you no longer feel like you're suffocating or that your life is being squeezed out of you. For me personally, I like their V-neck bra, and I also love the Super Power Short for smoothing out those love handles, under that dress. And so it doesn't roll down when you sit down. Also, that is the worst. You're at a party, you sit down, the thing rolls down, you got to get up, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to fix it, and then you got to readjust your boobs and everything. When you're wearing Honey Love, you don't have any of these problems, okay? Give the gift of comfort this holiday season, whether you're attending a wedding, hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner, or going to a holiday party, or simply seeking that everyday boost of confidence. Honey Love can be your perfect +1. So get yourself or someone you love the gift of comfort. Plus, for November only, listen to this. Honey Love is giving up to 50% off site-wide. Visit honeylove.com/pink shade and shop their sale. And when you go to checkout, it'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please say, "Pink Shade sent me." Thanks. Y'all, it's that time of year, the time that we need to start reflecting on things we're grateful for. I'm grateful for my family, my job, my friends, and my health. And another thing I'm grateful for, the fact that I've learned how to help my skin stay healthy and resilient as I get older. And that's because of today's sponsor, OneSkin. Their scientifically proven skincare routine has made a noticeable difference in how my skin looks and feels. Their OS1 peptide works at the cellular level to switch off the dysfunctional cells that cause your skin to age age faster than it needs to. And y'all know I'm going to go down fighting on this aging process. I've talked about it a lot. And to celebrate the holidays, OneSkin has introduced their limited edition holiday bundle. This features travel sizes of the OS1 Face, OS1 Eye, and the OS1 Body. All of these I've used, guys. They're all amazing products. And it comes in this chic, in the words of Dorit, this chic leatherette bag. It's the perfect gift, but you may actually just want to get one for yourself. Taking advantage of this exclusive bundle is short-lived. You got to do it while it lasts. And as a listener, you're going to get 15% off using code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. Invest in your skin's long-term health this holiday season because healthy skin is a gift. So you guys, I've been using OneSkin topical face and on my eyes for a couple of months now. I use it when my face is clean and right before I put on other products because it doesn't matter what other products you use. You just put this on first and then do your whole skincare routine that you like after that. And the R&D team at OneSkin did a lot of research and like smart lady science things to create this next level of skincare. Their scientists found that the OS1 peptide reverses skin's biological age by reducing the number of these senescent cells by 50%. You guys see, it's all very smart and scientific. And I don't know. All I know is it works for me and my skin has really seen improvement. OneSkin is the world's first longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with the code PINKSHADE. And after you purchase, they'll say, hey, where'd you hear about us? Please support our show and tell them we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only one you, and you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
Business.
So the thing about the Katie and the lying, I agree. I think she was caught in a couple of lies, and I think that they could have based their air quote takedown on the lies, but not on the kids. Because God forbid if you ever mentioned when I had the Dubrows kids, like, hey, remember 10 years ago when your kids were in the car and blah, blah, blah. She would be like, don't bring up my children. They were only 3, 4, and 7. How dare you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's why she specified. Are we talking about Katie's 19-year-old child so that she could have like carte blanche to say whatever she wanted to go after this chick?
I don't like that 19-year-old child being on the show, though. We're like, we don't know you. You haven't earned the right to be on our screen. You're no Gia. You're no Brielle. Get out of here.
Well, they need her at this point because she's got great. She's got like a huge following. I think she's got like 500,000 followers or something. She's like an influencer. I mean, I don't know. I just read that in a comment somewhere, so I'm sure it's true. But they're probably like, show her so we can get some of those clicks onto here,
Yeah, and also it's like the younger audience or whatnot. Yeah, since Katie's reminding us constantly how young she is. So Tamra, we were kind of waiting for the reunion with Tamra to see how that would go for her because she was so awful all season to Shannon, Oh, Shannon, I forgot. Shannon was over on the Katie Jen couch. How did I forget about Shannon? We kind of forgot about the whole Tamra was awful to Shannon for like a minute. But then it came back. And I have to tell you that I hated how Tamra treated Shannon all season. My husband's a recovering alcoholic. And I can tell you right now, just telling somebody they're an alcoholic and that they need to stop drinking is never going to work. And doing it on camera is actually also pretty terrible. So,
well, especially when you're clearly an alcoholic yourself. I mean, if those are the rules, then how are you not an alcoholic? You're the one getting drunk every episode and screaming at somebody
and showing your tits and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And pissing on the ground in multiple episodes and then turning around and saying, you're so embarrassing because you're drunk in public. Like, hello, lady,
Yeah.
Look in the mirror.
That's exactly right. And I'd kind of forgotten about it. And then we bring it back up. Now, Tamra did have a good point, and that pains me to say, but she did have a good point when she goes, we've talked about this for 10 years on every reunion. And when they did that pop-up, I mean, they skipped a couple of years. They were just like, we don't have enough space on the screen. That was rough. That was rough.
But Shannon also had a good point when she was like, we've talked about it for 10 years because you brought it up for 10 years. I mean, Shannon's first season, don't forget, was when Heather and Tamra tried to gaslight her into when they were like, well, should we call someone? She's really losing it. She's having a mental break. We need to call trying to get her 5150 or whatever that is, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, those fuckers. So they've been trying this, you know, and Heather's always had a thing against Shannon because they had that like Shannon's house is bigger. Remember when Shannon was like richer at the time than Heather? And that was a huge bone of contention with both of them. Shannon was shitty to Heather. Heather was shitty to Shannon because they were like having the battle for who's the richest in this group, you know? And Heather's just like kept it going. I mean, it's all these years later, and Heather will still find any excuse she can to go at her, you know, and at this point it doesn't even make sense. I mean, I don't even care if Shannon's an alcoholic. It's how they deal with it. Of course they have a point. We all see Shannon,
right?
But you don't get to do that to somebody else. And if your whole point is Shannon calls me sobbing every night, your point shouldn't be you bitch for calling me sobbing every night. It should be like, Shannon, we need to get you help because this is beyond me. Like, have some sensitivity, but like turning against her and then turning everyone against her and being like, that stupid alcoholic. She doesn't even care about Eddie's AFib. Fuck off.
Eddie's AFib.
That was the thing. She never even called me about Eddie's AFib, bitch. Like, oh God, you are so ridiculous.
That should be the name of Eddie's podcast. Eddie's AFib.
Eddie's AFib.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, you know, now that Teddy and Edwin are getting a divorce, are they still going to have the two E's in a pod or whatever the fuck their podcast is, the two husbands?
Oh, they were going to do that?
No, they have one. They have Ed and Eddie or Edwin. They have a two E's and they have a podcast together. Those two.
That's something I don't think anybody needs to listen to.
No.
Some base model bullshit. I don't know who's listening to that.
Base model.
No, thank you.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about
go Teddy, right? The rumor is she was banging her horse trainer and then the wife found out and threw her around the stables and stuff. Girl, that's the best thing Teddy's ever done. I was like, wait a minute, am I interested in a Teddy story? How the H did this happen?
I didn't hear about the wife got like beat her up or tried to.
Yes. Well, some of this is coming from Kelly Dodd and some of this
is Jesus Christ.
She said it on one of her go slut. Something and someone, you know, this is all cobbled together from rumors I'm reading. But
okay, let's hear it.
She was banging the horse trainer.
Yes, I heard that.
The trainer's wife found out and, like, I guess beat her up in the horse stable, or there was some kind of physical altercation. I don't know. I found out from the most evil housewife of all time, Sisol Medea, darling. I don't know anything else.
Do you want to dip into the Kelly Dodd of it all, the shit that she pulled yesterday?
You are a pig, and you hate Mexicans, and you hate women too.
Oh my God! Listen,
yeah, I saw that.
I was listening yesterday morning to Radio Andy, and so I was listening because, you know, I love John Hill. I love him. I mean, I love Andy too. Obviously, I mean, our Lord and Savior. You have to. I was listening and a call, I believe I was, you know, I was walking the dogs, half listening, and a caller called in and said, you know, what do you think about this, you know, Kelly Dodd's rant or whatever, political rant? And he goes, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. And, so John goes on this thing about like, yeah, you know,
didn't she say Andy was a communist or something?
She called Andy a sissy.
A sissy and a communist or something.
She called John Hill a communist. And so that's what and John Hill goes, I think she just says communist. I don't think she has any idea what it means. I think that's just like a word she throws out. He goes, I don't care. She's a fat, disgusting pig. Who gives a fuck? And Andy laughed and goes, well, she's not fat. Like, she is a disgusting pig, but she's not fat.
You got the rest of it right, but yeah.
It was kind of funny. And Andy didn't try to stop him from saying what he wanted to say. I texted John yesterday and I was like, oh my God, you know, did you see the clip of her going off on you and reaffirming that you're a communist and that you hate Latinos and you and Andy both hate women? And I was like, even though Andy only produces shows about women. And then the funniest thing was she goes, and it wasn't even me that called Andy a sissy. It was my mother. And then she flips the camera and her mom's in the back seat.
I did it. I did call him a sissy. You know why? Because that's the only thing I call him. So that's right. I'm Kelly's mom back here. And let me tell you, he is sissy. So there. I said it.
And Kelly just pushes her out of the car. We see her just rolling behind the.
Right. She's like, once again, you're punished. Psh, down the stairs. So yeah, John was like, I don't give two flying shits. I don't care. She's called me a communist enough times and I've had it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and then, you just wait to see what Kelly's going to do in response, because I had heard about that in the day and everybody's like, oh my God, what's Kelly's response going to be? So, of course, Kelly comes on in a pearl necklace, which I don't know why I found that so funny, but she's wearing like these giant pearls. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, First Lady. And Rick is like, how dare you come for my wife? And the most disgusting things that have ever been said about women. And then she's going off, you hate Mexicans.
She's like, my mom, her name is Garcia. And mom's in the backseat like, hi, Kelly, in the backseat. It was crazy. It was crazy. I love that.
It really was. That was some mess.
It was some mess. That was interesting, though. That was a little excitement for my afternoon.
Obviously, you shouldn't call someone a fat pig, right? But listen, I'm someone that it gets so angry that I will be like, you pig, meaning like you asshole of a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're disgusting.
Yeah, but you can't say that.
Yeah, well, he's doubling down. He don't care. Okay.
Zero fucks.
Zero fucks. I think, once you get called communist 3-4 times, you're just about done.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? That whole side, our whole side is that whole political side, my whole political side, we're all just communists now. Before it was liberals, and first it was liberals during the Clinton, and then it was socialists during Obama, and now it's communists. Like, we don't care. Just keep coming up with something every eight years, like some new villainous word you can call everybody.
Yeah, I'm just a female voter. That's what I am. Okay.
Well, good luck. Good luck in this country, honey. You're gonna need it, toots.
Good luck to me and good luck to my daughter.
Yeah.
All right. Let's chat about
things that aren't funny, but we laugh anyway.
We have to laugh because why not? Ronnie. Okay, let me tell you, speaking of something that's not funny. And Andy said this last night on Watch What Happens Live. So it was Jeff Lewis and Cy were on there. And the episode ended and they were like, oh, how did you feel about, that Rebecca Minkoff thing was a prank? And Andy goes, I don't like pranks. Like he just was dead. Like, I don't like it. I don't like pranks. And I don't like
and that's
pranks
really
either.
rare. That's really rare for Andy to just break from the butt kissing, right? Because he's the car salesman. So everything at the beginning of every season, Andy's like, this is the most amazing season of Atlanta you've ever seen. And then, it has to be shut down for retooling because it was so bad.
You're right.
So, it's hard to trust him on stuff like that. So when even Andy is like, that sucked. Like, what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah.
Andy was just basically like, I'm trying here, but you're making it very difficult. You're killing everything. You know what I mean? Because if you have 4 franchises on at one time, and most people are not watching 4 Housewives. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not going to watch Salt Lake City first because that's weird to them because it's Mormon and it's one of the newer ones. So they're going to watch kind of the old standbys. They're going to watch Potomac because it has the biggest ratings, and they're going to watch, OC, and then probably they're going to want to watch New York. And if they suck, if New York sucks, people are going to be like, well, Housewives is over, and New York sucks. It's just to the point where they just don't care. Like, what even was that? A prank? Like that's, and then the other half was Brynn just lying about shit again, just for fun. I mean, it's not even funny, And she's like, I stir the pot like a little baby. Oh, my arm hurts from stirring the pot. You are so sad. You are so sad. Do something. Get a life. Date somebody. Like, get off your couch. Make me nuts.
I enjoyed Brynn the first season because I was like, all right, she's giving a little like kooky Sonia Morgan horny vibes. Okay. Like, okay. But now I'm just like, ew. And last night they even said on Watch What Happens Live. I mean, Jeff was saying that he doesn't like the gay baiting basically that she does with Jenna Lyons. And he goes, and I also think it's really disrespectful because Jenna, is engaged and is disrespectful to her partner. That Brynn is constantly just like kiss me and rubbing all over her. And he was like, this is like a man and a woman. Like it's really inappropriate. And I have to agree. And her whole thing of like flirting with Aaron's dad and Aaron being like, ew, get away from my dad. Like I don't think it's funny anymore. I think it's funny if it's a dabble here and there, it's funny. But to make it your whole personality is wearing me out.
The stuff like that, I mean, I just take it like a sitcom character and I'm like, okay, that's her shtick. And I think she does her shtick pretty well. Like, I don't, like clutching my pearls over it or anything. I think what bothers me about it is that she's a hypocrite about it because she acts like that. And her whole thing is like, I'm a sexy baby who dates billionaires. And I learned how to play chess because rich guys like it. I collect rare books because rich guys like. I mean, that's like her whole vibe. But then when you say, oh, is she a sugar baby? She's like, how dare you speak to a woman like this? It's like, you can't have it both ways. Like, give me a break. It's not crazy that people would speculate it. You're literally playing a sex kitten character and talking about dating only billionaires. So why would it be so crazy for someone to be like, are you a sex kitten who only dates billionaires? And it's like the most offensive thing. And she can't take it. And anybody saying anything on a podcast, even alluding to that, is just ridiculous. I've got a team of 50 people working under me. No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Nobody believes the thing you say because you're a chronic ass liar. Okay. And I think she has the base of being really good. I think she's funny. She's charismatic. She's beautiful. She's got such good style.
Yes.
She's pretty funny. She's just the lies. I think it's the lies and the hypocrisy. It's like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
That part of her personality is wearing me out. I think she was more interesting when she was telling us about her backstory and how she grew up and, you know, being biracial and her grandmother taking her to get her hair done every weekend and her brother. And I think all that was interesting about her. But then it's sort of like she can't go. Now she's done it. Now she can't tell us anything else. And now she's got to kind of lean into this sex kitteny thing. And I think she's trying like so hard to prove like I do have a job and I do have money. I don't know why anybody ever would think that I didn't. Well, last season we saw you do literally nothing. Never mentioned you had a job. So that's why we got that.
Well, I think they wouldn't let her film, or I mean, I don't know what's going on. And I don't think we've ever like followed all of the housewives at work or anything like that. I just think she's not giving enough, and she's trying to drive the show, and it's in a really bad direction to where she's blocking everybody from making any real friendships. Because the minute she sees a friendship starting, she says something horrible that somebody said about each other, and it's all lies. And they're finally, after 2 years, realizing that she's just a compulsive liar, and so they don't listen to her. Like last night, the way that Jessel just took care of that immediately with Jenna and was like, I believe Jenna. Obviously, this girl's just lying at this point. Yeah. And it's just sad. It's like it's killing the show, you know, and the show's already half dead. It's like killing a zombie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the show's not that alive anyway, but she's really just hurting any chance that the show has to progress.
Well, let's go back to this prank. So this prank is she tells Brynn, who she knows will tell everybody, that Rebecca Minkoff is a sex-craved lunatic and has sex with random people and her husband doesn't care. And she got pregnant with another man's baby and her husband's fine with it. Now, everybody believes it. I believed it. I was like, whoa, okay. I fell for the prank. Yeah. I didn't have any spoilers to tell me it wasn't true. And I was just like... First, I was like, okay, what we're doing here is that next week, Erin's going to be like, actually, it's a joke. I wanted to tell you guys that I'm pregnant because her pregnancy news just came out. But then the timeline doesn't add up for that.
Right. Well, I was really pissed at first because I was like, who does this? This isn't a storyline. This is disgusting. You can't drag somebody like this on TV. And like, she has children. Like, you can't be like, she just got railed by 20 guys and then had who does that? That's disgusting. And fuck Erin for doing that. Yeah. And also Erin trying to prove that Brynn is the gossip and the liar when she immediately sat down at that lunch with Rebecca and was like, oh my God, here's what Brynn said about you. Like, you're the worst. You're just as bad. You're Brynn in a different font, slightly different, you know, much more boring. Like, but, you're the same thing. So I don't know what you're trying to prove, lady, because you just carried the news the same way that you're accusing her of doing. But then I was just grossed out. I was like, this is not cool to do with this lady. And out there ruining this lady's reputation. And I shouldn't be on her side. She's a fucking Scientologist. Like, I don't want to fight for her. And then they have me kind of sticking up for her. And then just the way they all dealt with it so ham-handedly. And it really went to show that even if something was going off on this show, this cast can't handle it. They were terrible. Every single one of them fumbled that ball. Not a single one of them did an entertaining job with that ball, you know?
And the way they ended the show with them walking out like, good job, they bought it. I was like, ew. And I liked that we rolled right into Watch What Happens Live. They didn't put any filler in the middle. We rolled right into it. And immediately the first thing they're like, we didn't like it. We didn't like it. Didn't land like you thought it would. No.
Well, they just did the roach gag. Like, haha, we're going to put roaches in people's food. It's just, I don't know. That show
I
just
would,
needs to just cut it. Just cut the whole thing. I mean, just make it Real Housewives of, I don't care, Brooklyn or Real Housewives of the Upper West Side or something.
yeah.
And just go back to finding crazy people, crazy older ladies that you can shoot. Cut this influencer bullshit out. They're not going to show anything. None of the ladies show anything. It's ridiculous. Like, wow, now we get to watch a scene of Size Kid getting a free purse from the Wicked collection. Are you fucking kidding me? And then we get Wicked commercials through the whole thing.
Yeah.
No.
I got that movie. I was like, did it come out like 6 years ago? Like we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it for so long. Definitely, it's already won 14 Oscars. Like, when is this movie ever coming out?
And do you notice that they never even say anything about the movie? It's so weird. Like they'll show previews and they just go like, oh my God. And then that's it. Like the songs don't go together. They just throw a bunch of like random lines from songs. So it sounds like your head's about to explode. And then they just show the witch going, and that's it. Who knows what this is about except it's the Green Witch. Like,
well, did you see Wicked?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you know what it's about.
Well, right. But I'm just saying for a ton of commercials that have been going for months, how is anybody supposed to know what this is even about? You know?
Also, they've never said when it's coming out.
November 22nd.
Okay. So it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
But have they been talking about it since last November? Because I feel like they have.
It's been around a lot for sure.
It's just like one of those people on TV. You're like, she's been pregnant for 4 years. Like, is she an elephant? How has this person been pregnant for 4 years? Y'all, it's the season to be thankful. And sometimes you have to dig deep, and I mean deep, to find things to be thankful for. But this year, I'm thankful for Honey Love bras because there's nothing worse than suffering through a Thanksgiving dinner with an uncomfortable bra, or really just in your everyday life. Sometimes I watch our reality shows, and I want to send some of our gals a Honey Love bra. You know, I'm looking at you directly, Zaria. But y'all know Honey Love's bras feature that supportive bonding that eliminates the need for underwire without sacrificing lift. Plus, they're super soft. I mean, you don't want to take it off. It's a around the house bra. It's a sleeping bra. They're just so comfortable. You guys, my mom is 83 and she just recently told me she ordered a Honey Love bra. And I can't wait to hear how much she loves it. She's going to love it. And she used my code, of course. Don't forget about their shapewear. It's holiday party season, you guys. We all have an outfit we need to fit into, look great, whether it's like pants or a dress. Their shapewear uses targeted compression technology, so you no longer feel like you're suffocating or that your life is being squeezed out of you. For me personally, I like their V-neck bra, and I also love the Super Power Short for smoothing out those love handles, you know, under that dress. And so it doesn't roll down when you sit down. Also, that is the worst. You're at a party, you sit down, the thing rolls down, you got to get up, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to fix it, and then you got to readjust your boobs and everything. When you're wearing Honey Love, you don't have any of these problems, okay? Give the gift of comfort this holiday season, whether you're attending a wedding, hosting a big Thanksgiving dinner, or going to a holiday party, or simply seeking that everyday boost of confidence. Honey Love can be your perfect +1. So get yourself or someone you love the gift of comfort. Plus, for November only, listen to this. Honey Love is giving up to 50% off site-wide. Visit honeylove.com/pink shade and shop their sale. And when you go to checkout, it'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please say, "Pink Shade sent me." Thanks. Y'all, it's that time of year, the time that we need to start reflecting on things we're grateful for. I'm grateful for my family, my job, my friends, and my health. And another thing I'm grateful for, the fact that I've learned how to help my skin stay healthy and resilient as I get older. And that's because of today's sponsor, OneSkin. Their scientifically proven skincare routine has made a noticeable difference in how my skin looks and feels. Their OS1 peptide works at the cellular level to switch off the dysfunctional cells that cause your skin to age faster than it needs to. And y'all know I'm going to go down fighting on this aging process. I've talked about it a lot. And to celebrate the holidays, OneSkin has introduced their limited edition holiday bundle. This features travel sizes of the OS1 face, OS1 eye, and the OS1 body. All of these I've used, guys. They're all amazing products. And it comes in this chic, in the words of Jarit, this chic leatherette bag. It's the perfect gift, but you may actually just want to get one for yourself. Taking advantage of this exclusive bundle is short-lived. You got to do it while it lasts. And as a listener, you're going to get 15% off using code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. Invest in your skin's long-term health this holiday season because healthy skin is a gift. So you guys, I've been using OneSkin topical face and on my eyes for a couple of months now. I use it when my face is clean and right before I put on other products because it doesn't matter what other products you use. You just put this on first and then do your whole skincare routine that you like after that. And the R&D team at OneSkin did a lot of research and like smart lady science things to create this next level of skincare. Their scientists found that the OS1 peptide reverses skin's biological age by reducing the number of these senescent cells by 50%. You guys see, it's all very smart and scientific. And I don't know. All I know is it works for me and my skin has really seen improvement. OneSkin is the world's first longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with the code PINKSHADE. And after you purchase, they'll say, hey, where'd you hear about us? Please support our show and tell them we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only one you, and you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. So the Becca Minkoff and the Scientology thing. So she has now said more than once when they say about Scientology, she goes, I just say read a book. Every time she says that, of course, my thought is Going Clear is the book you should read. And I cannot believe the producer said that to her this week. Should we read Going Clear? She was like, not that book. I was like, well, technically, as a Scientologist, you're never supposed to go on the internet and type in anything about Scientologists. So how do you even know about that book? Ooh, you're in trouble. You got to go to Goldbase. You're in trouble.
Oh gosh. I like Rebecca for the most part. I like her personality. I love that she cannot be manipulated. She does not care about
She's
these
using
ladies.
the Scientology skills.
She does not care.
Yeah.
But this whole promoting Scientology is gross. And when they give her that whole thing of like, just read a book, I just encourage anybody, read a book, see the musical. No, gross. Where's Shelley? Where is she?
Where's Shelley?
Stop this shit. Stop trying to post it like it's your self-help. I used to live down the street from one of the Scientology centers in Little Armenia, and I would see the low-level workers walking home every day in a single file line all the way from the church to their home, not speaking, their hands all folded right in front of them, wearing the exact same clothes, polyester pants, a gray little sweater, and like a little shirt. And they weren't allowed to talk, single file line too. And then they would do is go there and come out. So while she's like, this is just so great. Like, it's just for my spirituality. Well, they don't look like they're doing too spiritual. Like, they don't look like they're doing so great. So it might be great at your level, but just from what I've seen in passing, it's not great to the lower levels. And literally everything you read is terrifying about this. I don't love the whole giving that a platform. I think it's gross.
And I think it's interesting too, that she said, she was explaining that she's Jewish, that's her religion, but Scientology she uses for like self-help. And anything we've ever read or heard, you could listen to Leah Remini, you can listen to anybody. They have always said, no, it is not true. You are not a Baptist and also a Scientologist. Like that is not true, because I know that when Katie Holmes was in and Tom Cruise was talking to Oprah or Matt Lauer or somebody about it, and he said, oh no, her family's very Catholic. She's Catholic, but you can be Catholic and a Scientologist. And Leah Remini is like, that's hilarious. There is literally zero way you're allowed to affiliate with another religion. There's no way.
Also in Catholicism, like everyone has kind of their own. Everyone's like, well, I'll just do whatever I want with my religion, and that's great. Like everyone's treating it kind of like a buffet platter. But if you're really following those religions, Catholics aren't also Scientologists. That's just not what it is. That's not what Catholicism is. It's not what Christianity is.
No.
Even though some argue that Catholicism isn't the same as regular Christianity, but pretty sure. I mean, I went to Catholic school, and I'm pretty sure that you're not allowed to just have multiple religions.
You're not allowed to, worship false idols like Tom Cruise.
Only Lady Gaga, but she's a real idol. So whatever.
Oh my God. Well, I found that very interesting that they actually got her to talk about it. And then I'm like, now she will disappear and we'll be saying, where's Rebecca? And her bags will live on forever at Nordstrom Rack or whatever.
Oh, I think they're purposely getting her to do this PR shit for them, where it's like, look, we've had so much bad press, but it's just bad press. Look at this nice lady. And, it's not bad advertising, because really, if you look at Rebecca, she's doing great. I mean, she's doing well, and her attitude is like perfect. Nothing bothers her. She's happy with everything at all times. Like they try to ruin her, and she's like, whatever, I'm not going to stoop to that level. But it's cute that she's trying to. Never even confronts her about it. She's just like, whatever. So it kind of makes it look like, well, that works. It's working for her, but
I'm not buying it, Ronnie.
Yeah, don't buy it. It's just a ploy. It's just a ploy. Don't buy it.
I'm not going to read Dianetics. You can't make me. Okay, Salt Lake City, the controversy this week. Well, first of all, thoughts on Bronwyn's cranky old man husband. Hilarious.
I didn't like it. I think it's funny. I think it's funny to a degree, but I don't like that whole like,
we're behaving on this trip or these women are getting out of here. I will not be here for women fighting.
Where do you think you are, sir?
Why did he agree?
Work for you?
Why did he agree to be on the show? Because a lot of times the husbands just barely dip in and out, and he could have been one of those guys, but he has like fully agreed to be on the show. And I don't know if that's like, you can't be a full housewife if your husband's not going to do it. And she bullied him into doing it. And now he's like, fuck this. I don't want to be on TV with these people fighting. It's bad for my brand. And he's just really bringing out the, like, I'm the dad in this situation. I don't know, but I don't like the way he speaks to her, but I do find his cranky personality pretty funny.
I laugh at it, and I certainly laugh at it when we recap it, because we really recap him as an old Methuselah type, cranky old man.
Yeah.
So that's fun, but I feel sadness with her. There's something sad about her. There's like something emanating from her that's just not happy and fun. And she's dressed like she's really fun, and she's wearing these big, huge, cartoonish outfits like she's super fun. And she's not.
And her house is like a Willy Wonka factory.
Yeah, but it's like she's doing all of this to project how fun she is, but I just don't think she's fun. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And the whole thing with her husband makes me sad. She looks sad when he's talking like that. She looks like, he's mad, and I'm used to it. Everybody's used to him being mad, but that doesn't really excuse it. And it's like everybody's used to it and takes it because he's rich. He's a fucking billionaire or whatever. So everyone's like, that's just how he is. Poor people don't get away with that. If that was a poor husband acting like that on this show, people would be fucking horrified and calling him an emotional abuser. But he's really rich, so guess that's okay. And I don't like it. And that whole like stand up for your wife. No, this show would be bedlam if it was just men standing up for their wives all the time. These women rip each other apart. And Bronwyn was part of that. Bronwyn was part of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. So something happened this week with Bronwyn and like a blogger, a podcaster or something. And I guess that whoever that was, like us, like talked
Jenny
about
Blaze.
Her. Okay. Jenny Blaze. So talked about her on her, whatever her format is.
Well, so what happened was here, I'll tell you the story.
Okay, good. Okay,
so
good.
Basically the after show, they have an after show for this, and there were kind of dueling stories. Bronwyn was in one section and Lisa was in another room, and they were telling the story about the grandparents and this and that. And Lisa was basically saying, I don't know what this lady's talking about, because they told the grandparents that the baby, that she'd miscarried. So the grandparents didn't even know there was this baby.
Really?
And there's all this. So Lisa's kind of standing up for the grandparents who are evil, right? Mm-hmm. So they ended up cutting that from the after show right after it aired. But Jenny Blaze, Bravo and Blaze, hey girl, Jenny had video of it. So she put it up and she said, here's what they cut from the episode.
Okay.
And Bronwyn had a fit and was emailing her like, this is hurting my daughter. And this is, all this, which I don't really doubt it, but you're also putting the story onto TV. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know, but it got really ugly. And then, of course, Jenny's kind of typical blogger about it, like, and she's attacking me, but, it's gotten a little bit messy, but that's what I understand of the story.
Okay. And then now Bravo has said like, okay, Salt Lake City, you're shut down. Like, no press, no interviews, no nothing. Like they do that sometimes. If something gets a little spicy, they'll be like, okay, so nobody can do press,
Have they done that?
Yeah, they did that. And they'll do that for like 2 weeks. I remember I had an interview scheduled with Margaret a while back and, was so excited. And then like a week before, like, they shut that shit down. And then I was like, well, for how long? And they're like, till exactly 6 weeks after the reunion of Jersey. I was like, what? Nobody will care then. And then a week later, they're like, just kidding. It's lifted. You can talk to her.
Yeah, they do have a bizarre way of dealing with things over there, and I kind of get it. But at the same time, Salt Lake is kind of tanking, and you need the ratings. So,
and you need
if you've got controversy, get their asses out there to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think overall the season kind of like not too much is happening. I did want to see John Barlow and Whitney's husband. I'd love to have seen them just duke it out. I would have loved that, but it didn't happen.
To duke it out.
Yeah.
No way. It's wusses. No way. I love it. I mean, I think that show's so funny. And if they make me laugh, then I'm in. And it makes me laugh every single time. So I'm into it, you know. But I don't know. I hope people start watching it because I think that one's so good.
I'm watching it every week. I'm watching it like I got it on my DVR. I'm doing it like a reel, not even streaming.
Yeah, me too. I love it. So we'll see.
Okay, Potomac. I know you guys love Potomac.
Yeah.
Okay. So this last episode was kind of now, do we know if Mia was actually ever in rehab for a heroin problem, or did Karen just make that up as a diversion?
I don't know.
But it's pretty gross to say.
Pretty low.
Yeah.
But Mia is also so low constantly that they're both kind of going low. And I guess what kind of made it funny to me, even though it was so low, and I know I sound like a hypocrite because on OC, I'm like, fuck Heather and Emily. It was so low. And on this, I'm like, LOL. But it was low. But I think it's just the way that Karen is just like so sick of being attacked every episode that she's like, wow, she's, you know, she had an opioid addiction. The end. Go do with that what you will. Children.
That's why she started the joint chiropractic. I'm like, so you have an opioid addiction, so you buy a franchise of a chiropractor? What?
Well, someone explained to me in the comments, because that's what I was saying. Like, I don't get, like, why, how does that make sense? You know, is it because it has like crack in the title, like crack the back, even though it's not an opioid? But I was trying to figure out, but someone in the comments was like, Ronnie, it's probably because she had an opioid addiction because of a pain pill problem.
Okay.
And then chiropractor got her off of that because they helped deal with her pain in a non-drug way. Non-drug.
Okay. Right.
What do you call it? Dependent way.
Yes,
so that made sense. They haven't said that on the show, but I did read it in a YouTube comment. And so I say, thank you. That's the most education I've had this week, you know?
That must be true. So I will say that I looked up, because they keep talking about, you know, Karen can't say anything. Karen can't say anything. So I looked it up, and in October, she did ask for her charges to be dismissed, all 412 charges, and it was denied. Because what she said to the court was some of the statements that she made when she was first like taken out of the car and breathalyzed, and with the EMTs, all of that is admissible in court. And she was asking for all of that not to be admissible because she wasn't read her rights. And what the court said was, no, they don't have to read you your rights. You just stepped out of the car and we're talking to an EMT. They don't have to read you your rights. You were volunteering information. So she's probably like, oh yeah, I'm shit-faced. I hit that tree. I couldn't believe it. I mean, whatever she was saying.
Right. You weren't under arrest, so they didn't have to read you.
They didn't have to read you your rights. And so anyway, the court, she was asking for all that to be thrown out in her case. And the court, like, they were like, it was like a 20-minute hearing. And they're like, denied. No.
Oh, and she was saying, oh, they've mistreated me because, let me tell you what happened. They started questioning me. Horrible, horrible questions. Where were you tonight? What were you doing tonight? I was like, girl, that's what they tell all of us when we get pulled over.
Yes.
So that's like the standard question. She's like, it's abuse.
How many drinks have you had tonight? You know? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, anyway, denied. So that's still ongoing.
Yeah.
Now,
I think she's actually getting it kind of easy on that show. Really. I mean, they're not pounding her with
like they did with Shannon.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they had a little party. They made some shady jokes, but I mean, they're not coming after her that hard. I don't think.
Okay, that Watch What Happens Live with Stacey and Countess Luann. First of all, Stacey, I was like, whoa, girl, pull your dress up. I was like, her, tatas. I was like, whoa. And I like Stacey.
She's a stoner. I wanted her just to start singing, why don't you do right? She was like Jessica Rabbit up there. I mean, gorgeous. I was like,
she's gorgeous.
And I'm a gay guy. I was like, holy mother, that lady's gorgeous.
It was a little much with the boobage for me. And then there was
boobs are in. Even I've got mine out half the time, you know?
Luann, did she seem a little off to you on that episode?
She actually seems somewhat lucid comparatively. I mean, I don't know. Luann's such a nutcase. Just bring every single thing. It's like, so you like the weather today? Well, in my cabaret song, I do a song called Stormy Weather. It's like, all right. It's all the cabarets. The only answer in life is cabaret. You know,
it's really annoying. And I heard her, you know, maybe in the last month or so, she was doing like a round of like she was doing Jeff Lewis. She did Heather. She did, you know, she did Kate Casey. She did a bunch of podcasts. And
She did Crappens.
She
Ding.
did Crappens?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She just went. You just had to sit there and listen to her go.
But it's very hard to keep her on topic. Like you literally can't be like, so you're like, what's going on with your kids? She's like, well, my children always say, Mom, you're a cabaret star. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not the question.
Yeah.
She answers nothing. She just brings it all. It's hard. It's hard to keep her on point.
Yeah, I don't think with someone like that you keep them on point. You just let them go. You just have to know when to cut them off enough when they're getting boring, because she will just keep going like a politician,
Yes.
until her time's up.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, I thought that was interesting because like she was having a hard time turning her neck. So did you notice that? Like as she was turning, she was like, she'd had a neck injury, but I think she had like some threads or something. Cause you see that when people have threads that they can't, of course, then I'm like, should I get threads? Okay. On Crappens, you guys are covering, of course, all the housewives.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you do HGTV. You're doing the below deck. What else are you covering? I mean, that's everything.
Right now we do Below Deck, and then we do House Hunters for our Wondery Plus, like exclusive things.
Yes.
Thanks.
I'm a subscriber.
Oh, thank you. So that's super fun. That's different. And then we did Chimp Crazy recently, the HBO thing, and we did The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That was interesting. It was fun. Yeah. So we'll branch out, when we need to, like when there's holes in the schedule or whatever. But then a ton of stuff comes back, and then we're having to skip stuff,
Yeah,
that's about to happen, where we're going to just have to start skipping some stuff. So who knows? It's feast or famine over here. But
are you going to cover Sold in the OC?
Yes.
I'm going to cover it too, I think. Just because
good.
It does look good. And I'm sort of like, I'm very in that Salt Lake City. We're just inundated with the Mormons. And I say, bring them on.
Yeah, there's another cult that we're just like, oh, it's okay now because it's on Bravo. It's all great. I mean, are they trying to convince us it's the worst thing in the world? Because Salt Lake City has not had a very positive review of Mormonism, right? With Heather and Whitney and all that. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, they're like, hey, let's have more Mormons everywhere. So I'm really sure that, I'm with it. And it looks fun. I love to take detours. Well, I love when Bravo gives us just something new and crazy and cheesy.
Yeah. I mean, Southern Charm is coming back. Beverly Hills is coming back. But then I guess OC will leave. But I don't feel like any of those other three are leaving right away.
No, and Married to Medicine's coming back too. So there's a ton of stuff that's going to be on. And it's all coming on right before Christmas, which is really annoying because...
Annoying? Yeah. What are you going to do?
Not do? I mean, take a week. Like, we're not going to work during Christmas week for that, But I take it personally. It's like, it has nothing to do with me. But I'm like, how dare you? How dare you mess with my Christmas break?
I know. Well, I don't like that for you. Now we're gonna wrap it up, but quickly I want to ask you. So you moved from LA back to Texas, and now you're back in LA.
I'm both.
I'm both.
I'm both in part-time. So this place in LA I want as an investment type thing. It was a fixer-upper, so I'm trying my hand at that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a disaster. I'm not going to lie.
Well, from what I can see,
it's definitely my first time.
Yeah.
Thank you. But like budget and it's nuts. And then also I'm building it. So like, who's going to want to live here besides me? It's like a whole room made out of cork. Like, who wants that? Me. Literally just me.
Or somebody that wants to do a podcast or a murder.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the roof is the ceiling in here is actually maroon. I can't tilt my camera up because it's fixed. That it looks like a crime scene. But yeah, I'm having fun, and then I'm going back to Texas in a couple of weeks, and I'll probably rent this place out or something. We'll see.
You still have your place in Texas, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What does Bueller think about the traveling? Your dog?
He loves it. He loves it.
Do you guys do you drive or do you fly?
He has, there's like a courier service that takes him because he's really hard to get on planes. They've really cracked down on that whole emotional support animal. So I just sobbed the whole time to prove that I really needed him. I'm like, how dare you? And not Peanuts either. All these wusses took away Peanuts. That man a dog.
My niece and her husband have a, 70-pound golden doodle that they take with them on the airplane. And the dog just sits between their legs on the floor and never moves, never nothing. I have 2 mini golden doodles that would have to be half euthanized to go on an airplane. There's no way they can't even. No, they panic if they have to go on the ferry when we go to the beach. Like,
oh my gosh.
So Bueller would be okay on an airplane.
Yeah, he's great on airplanes. Yeah, he's just not small enough to where he fits the right way to be legal. Like he's a little too big. Like he can fit under
Yeah.
the seat, but his butt sticks out and his tail wags the whole time and it
That's
slaps
cute,
people.
though.
And he can't fit in a little crate that goes under there. And I'm not
Yeah.
putting him under the plane because that's
No,
not
no,
cool.
no, 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 no.
I did that once with my first dog, and she was traumatized for life. She
Yeah,
came
I
out of
bet.
there like,
Yeah, that's awful.
it was not good. Yeah. So I've never gotten over that guilt. So I'm not going to do that. But there's like a little courier service that takes him. So
Okay. Let Bueller fly. That's what I say.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I say too. Give Bueller a break. He's a good boy.
Yeah, that's like I said. The huge dog that my niece has just sits between her legs on the plane. I was like, "Well, we got to push our back under." Okay,
But some people just have a way of getting away with it. You know, Leah Black, the Real
Yeah.
Housewives of Miami, Leah, she's like, oh, I brought my dogs. She's got like 3 or 4 dogs. One of them's humongous. And she's like, I brought him in first class. You know, she just brings them in there and just piles them in there and just sits with them. One of them pooped all over the first class one time. And she's just, I'm like,
no,
how do you get away? And of course, the answer, money, 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 money. I mean, I'm guessing, but I don't feel like I could pull that off. But she's got that kind of personality where they just are like, okay, ma'am, whatever you need.
I feel like if a dog pooped on the plane, you'd have to like take the plane down. Like you'd have to be like, "We're gonna have to land to St. Louis." Like
I don't know. I don't
not
think
if you're
they
Leah
did.
Black.
Nope. Keep this plane in the air. Like, okay.
Oh my God. Well, you guys already know, but I'll just tell you the best Bravo podcast out there is Watch What Crappens and has been for how many years?
Oh, thank you. Almost 13. The New Year's will be 13 years old. Isn't that crazy?
And you guys won that big podcast award this year.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, the iHeartRadio.
Wow.
iHeart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That was
loved
so
it.
nice.
I loved it. That was really great.
It only cost, God, how much was that? Just kidding. A couple of blowjobs and
Do you have the award itself?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in Texas.
Okay. Well, you need to like put it behind you on your little cork shelf back there and be like,
Okay.
look who you're talking to,
Oh
motherfuckers.
my gosh.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
gosh. Well, thank you. It's been so fun talking to you. I love talking to you. But yeah, just find us on Instagram at Watch What Crappens. And I'm at Ronnie Karam.
That's right. And that's where you find them and you can listen anywhere you want. And then also they're on Wondery and you get it there ad free. That's where I listen.
I love it. Yes, Wondery supporter. Well, thank you so much, honey. It was great talking to you.
Okay. Everybody follow me on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. And I'll be around this weekend with Amy talking about the season finale of 90 Day the Other Way.
Love it.
Love it. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.